fans, welcome to the Line Change postgame show. The Vancouver Canucks have been defeated by the Florida Panthers by a score of 8-5. Canucks finished their 3-game road trip going 1-1-1. Now, before we break down and recap this game, as I always do, I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of the artwork you see behind me. And you guys can check him out yourselves at gassyjackart.com. There is a link to his website in the description down below. Now let's get to this game. This game was a goal fest. Total of 13 goals in this game, 8 of them, of course, for the Panthers, 5 of them for the Canucks. And before we take a look at the goal visualizer, I want to take a look at some of the game stats. Let's go ahead and bring it up on the screen here. So let me just maximize this so you guys can fully see it. So for the stats, 15 shots on goal for the Vancouver Canucks. Canuck fans are a little used to this by now, especially with the last 3 games. So the Canucks were outshot 41-15 by the Florida Panthers. Faceoff percentage, Canucks were a 52.2%, 36 out of 69. And the Florida Panthers were a 47.8%, 33 out of 69. So the Canucks were slightly better on the faceoff dot. That probably has a lot to do with the fact that Barkov is injured right now. Power play percentage, 33.3% for the Canucks, same as the Florida Panthers. Both teams were 2 for 6 on the power play. 18 minutes and penalties even between the two sides. Some Canuck fans will probably think that is a little outrageous, especially considering a couple of the penalties in this game. The Panthers surprisingly out-hit the Canucks 24-13. Block shots were 20-15 in favor of Florida. Giveaways were 10 apiece, and then takeaways were 4-2 in favor of Florida. Now, this was, of course, the first of 2 meetings between the Panthers and the Canucks. Their next meeting is not until next year, not until March, which is in Vancouver. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the goal visualizer while we have it here. Starting things off, Drew O'Connor scores his 6th of the season at 14:50 of the first period, assisted by Tyler Myers and Quinn Hughes. So Quinn Hughes adds another assist, another point after picking up 4 points in last night's game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's take a look at the visualizer here. As you can see, Drew O'Connor has the puck around the net, moves it over to Hughes. He's going to move it to Myers, who shoots it, misses the net, and Drew O'Connor is able to pick it up and is able to squeeze it past Sergei Bobrovsky, who thought he had control of the puck, but he actually didn't, and O'Connor gets his 6th of the season. And then at 15:14, so about a minute or so later, Jake DeBrusk scores his 8th of the season on the power play, assisted by Kiefer Sherwood and Quinn Hughes. So Quinn Hughes up to 2 points within the first, 5 minutes of this game. And let's take a look at the visualizer. And this was a beautiful goal right off the faceoff. Pettersson wins it back to Hughes. Hughes is going to move it down to Sherwood, and Sherwood is able to find Jake DeBrusk, who one-times it into the net. Beautiful goal by DeBrusk, and Canucks are up 2-0 to start, and that really got myself included, Canuck fans, all excited. And then, of course, the Panthers decided got a goal to make it 2-1. AJ Greer, his 4th of the season at 15:50. So less than a minute later, Florida is able to get on the board, assisted by Verhaeghe and Sam Bennett. Take a look at this goal visualizer here. Puck is moved up. Florida is able to get it. Bennett comes down and beat Yuri Patera, who started this game. Next up, we had Seth Jones, who would tie it up at 2 at 19:52, so just before the end of the period, assisted by Reinhardt and Sergei Bobrovsky, and it was on the power play. Jones with his 2nd of the season. Let's take a look at this one. Tap there, moves it up to Jones. Starting with the second period, Luke Kunin will score his first of the season to make it 3-2 Florida at 2 minutes and 23 seconds of the second period, assisted by Noah Gregor and Gustav Forsling. Let's take a look at this one. Puck is moved into the corner there, moved around. I believe that's Gregor. Oh, it kind of froze on me there, so I kind of missed that. Let's replay that. Oh, puck Gregor moves in, shoots it, and I believe, Kunin is able to get it in on the rebound. Patera was down, so he was not able to get the puck in. Kunin is able to pounce on the rebound. And then Evan Rodriguez would score his fifth of the season to make it 4-2 Florida at 6:10, assisted by Reinhardt and Jesper Boquist. So Sam Reinhardt with a big game so far in this game. Let's take a look at the visualizer. Face off right here. Puck is down behind the net. Reinhardt feeds it in front to Evan Rodriguez. Bit of a defensive breakdown there by the Canucks, and it leads to a goal. Next up, we have Anton Lundell scores his fifth of the season at 7:17 to make it 5-2 Florida, assisted by Brad Marchand and Aaron Ekblad. Take a look at this one. Ekblad moves the puck down to Marchand. Marchand moves it back to Ekblad, and he's able to put it past. Then you had Elias Pettersson scoring his fifth of the season, assisted by Kane and Quinn Hughes. So Quinn Hughes with another assist at 7:55. This was a beautiful goal, a 3-on-1. Here we go. Sherwood is able to get the puck back, passes it over to Quinn, who passes it over to Kane, who feeds it over to Elias Pettersson and is able to beat Bobrovsky. That would do it for the second period. Moving to the third period, Elias Pettersson would score again, his sixth of the season at 1:24 of the third period, assisted by Kiefer Sherwood and Tom Willander. This was a beautiful goal by Pettersson. As you can see here, Pettersson starts with the puck, moves it up to Willander, who then moves it to Sherwood. And Sherwood is able to pass it back to Pettersson, who backhands it into the net. Beautiful goal, and we're starting to see good things from Elias Pettersson. I'll touch on Elias Pettersson in just a little bit. But next up, we have Filip Hronek ties the game up, scoring his first of the season on the power play at 3:14, assisted by Max Sasson and Evander Kane. So Evander Kane, two really nice assists in this game, despite the fact that he is terrible defensively. Quinn Hughes with the puck moves it up to Sasson, who moves it to Kane. Kane is able to pass it back to Sasson, who then feeds it over to Hronek to put the puck in the net. Next up, we have Sam Bennett scores his fourth of the season at 4:02 to make it 6-5 for Florida, assisted by Mikkola and Balinskis. Let's take a look at the visualizer. Sam Bennett with the puck there behind the net. Verhaeghe passes out to, I forget who that is for Florida. Back to the point. Shot, and Bennett is able to tip it in past Jiri Patera. Next up, we had Seth Jones scoring his third of the season on the power play, his second of the game to make it 7-5 for Florida, assisted by Reinhardt and Verhaeghe at 8:19. Take a look at this one. Puck in the corner, bounce back to the point. Jones over to Verhaeghe, to Reinhardt, to Jones, tic-tac-toe goal. And then we had Brad Marchand score an empty net goal, his 13th of the season at 18:14 to make it 8-5. Don't really need to show the visualizer for that one, as it is an empty net goal. And that is the final score for the Vancouver Canucks and Florida Panthers. Now, I want to get into some other things here. Just give me one sec. There we go. This road trip, as I mentioned at the start, 1-1-1. The high danger chances, terrible, absolutely terrible. High danger chances were 51-11, with the Canucks getting only 11. So the opposing team had 51 high danger chances throughout this 3-game road trip, which is absolutely terrible. And also, shots continue to be an issue. Only 50. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. StreamYard decided to crap out for whatever reason. It wasn't my internet. StreamYard just shut down. So apologies for that. Back up and running now. Let me see where I left off. So anyway, I was talking about shots continuing to be an issue. Only 15 shots in this game. You can't expect to be a playoff team if you can only muster 15 shots a game. People already know that. But positive, Quinn Hughes is looking like himself again. And so is Elias Pettersson, who now has back-to-back multi-point nights. Speaking of Quinn Hughes, span of 3 games, Quinn Hughes has jumped from 18th to 2nd, in scoring among defensemen, which is mind-blowing. He has 10 assists in his last 2.5 games, 3 consecutive games with 3 points or more. If he can stay healthy, no question, Quinn Hughes reaches 100 points this season. Yeah, definitely, Connor, definitely. Yeah, I think it's a StreamYard thing because I literally went and searched Google afterwards, and it was working fine. So I just had to close down StreamYard and reopen it up again. So again, apologies for that. Hopefully I can get that fixed, or I can reach out to StreamYard and be like, what happened? But let's get to a statistic you may not know. Some of you may know this, some of you may not, but PD was on a 14-goal, 53-point pace just a few games ago. Now he's on pace for 23 goals. I know people want more goals, but he's now on a 74-point pace. Baby steps, but it's on the upwards for EP40. Already did the visualizer. Let's take a look at some individual stats here. I actually ended up closing up for game just because I thought it was internet. Let's for the Panthers NHL. Right. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. There we go. Now I got it back. All right, now let me share this. Screen share. I'll get to you guys' comments in just a bit. Share screen. There we go. All right, let me maximize this so you guys can see. All right, let's take a look at the individual stats. We already went over the actual game stats. Let's take a look at the box score. Where is it? There we go. So let's take a look at the Vancouver Canucks. Brock Besser, a -1, 20 minutes and 59 seconds. Drew O'Connor, Doc, with a goal. He continues to be impressive, especially over the last several games. He was a +1, 13 minutes and 50 seconds. Mackenzie McKieran was a -1 at 8 minutes and 44 seconds. He did have a block and a hit. Elias Pettersson, 2 goals, 21 minutes and 24 seconds, 2 shots. So on both of his shots, he made them count. 3 blocks, so he adds to his blocking total that we talked about in that little short that I did. Kiefer Sherwood with 2 assists, a +1. And he had 4 penalty minutes, 20 minutes and 41 seconds with 1 shot and 3 hits. So only 3 hits for Sherwood, which is a little disappointing, not going to lie. Ratu was a -1, 7 minutes and 51 seconds. Max Sasson, 1 assist, plus a +1. He had ice time of 14:50 with 2 shots, a block, and 1 hit. Lucas Reichel was a -2. Keep in mind, this was the first time we've seen Reichel on the wing since we acquired him. 9 minutes and 34 seconds. He had 1 hit in the game. Jake DeBrusk, a goal. So Jake, the clutch continues in the month of November, although he was a -3 in this game. Ice time of 16:55 with his only goal being on the power play, 2 shots, and that was it for him. And then you had Evander Kane had 2 assists, 2 great passes by Kane. I know we rag on Kane a lot, myself especially, but he had a pretty darn good game here tonight, despite him getting to yet another penalty, a dumb one at that. Ice time of 19:45. That's what happens when you're on the first line. 1 shot, 1 block, and then you had Linus Karlsson, who was a -2 and had an ice time of 11:15 with 1 shot and 1 hit. Let's take a look at the defensemen. Tom Wielander with an assist here tonight. He was a -1, ice time of 11:50 with 2 giveaways. Philip Hronek had a goal, his first of the season, was a +1 and had an ice time of 25:10. His lone goal being on the power play, 3 shots, 1 block, 2 hits, 1 giveaway. DPD was a -2 in this game. 10 minutes and 57 seconds of ice time, 3 hits, 1 giveaway. Marcus Pettersson, who I think had a pretty terrible game, a -1, 16 minutes and 36 seconds, 1 block, 1 giveaway. Quinn Hughes doing Quinn Hughes things, 3 assists, 29:39 ice time. So just under 30 minutes for Quinn Hughes. He had 1 shot, 3 blocks, 1 giveaway. Tyler Myers with an assist. He was a -2 and a ice time of 19:05 with 4 blocks, 1 hit. And then P.O. Joseph didn't even play. This is actually technically David Kampf, who was a -3, 14 minutes and 8 seconds. I don't know why they got it mixed up with P.O. Joseph when P.O. Joseph is number 7. But this is actually pretty freaking hilarious because, yeah, they don't even have Kampf on the forwards. They have him listed under P.O. Joseph. So, yikes. Yuri Patera, 40 shots against, 33 saves, 7 goals against, 5 of them at even strength, 2 of them on the power play, with a .825 save percentage. Obviously, he got pulled 6 minutes left in the game. I thought Patera was good for a 4th string. Obviously, that glove save that he made was absolutely incredible. But let's get back to this. There we go. Let's go over the referees in this game a little bit, just because I was pretty appalled with the referees in this game. And then I'll get into some of your comments. Yeah, some like the 4-minute double minor on Myers for roughing, I thought was BS. Some would maybe say that it was to make things even for that Sam Bennett one that they assessed 4 minutes to, but I don't believe that at all. I thought it was really freaking soft and was completely unneeded. And I thought the penalties were a little outrageous in this game. 6 apiece, or at least 6 power plays for each side. So there was that, and I just think the NHL needs to crack down on the consistency for the referees. I mean, everybody wants that, but whether or not we actually get it, probably not. I'm not sure, but who knows? Get into some of your comments, and then I will get into the announcement. So let's see where I'm at. I'll go. I think I was here. Swervin in the building. My StreamYard shut down for some reason. Unless you're talking about the hockey game. We cheered for the team with the whale on the jersey. Are you going to be having open night tonight? Not tonight. I don't think Gerald will be joining me tonight either. I haven't heard from him all day, so that's completely fine. But I will talk about the open night thing in just a sec here. Yeah, let's see if there's any more. Hughes scored points. That's great for him, but to cause his team to have 3 players on the ice, that's a big negative. Yeah. Joseph's time is done. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that too. He hasn't really done anything for the Canucks since they acquired him. So yeah, I would not be one bit surprised if they end up putting him on waivers. No real heavy loss for that. You have to feel sorry for Patera. Yeah, absolutely. He was just thrown in against the defending Stanley Cup champions. I mentioned the other day, I think it was on somebody else's stream. I was a little surprised that they didn't start Patera last night or yesterday afternoon and have Lankinen tonight and then have Lankinen play on Thursday as well. But yeah, I do think he did a great job for his first game. So there's that. But getting into the announcement, and it has something to do with what Jeremiah is asking. Basically, well, it was going to be something else, but then I decided to hold off on it as I want to wait until, both sides are, in the right, or I don't want to, go overboard with it, but I decided to share this one instead. So there's this one. I will be doing open houses, but they won't be called open houses. They'll be called open mic night. So if you ever see this logo on the thumbnail, that means it is an open mic night. This is just an example. So there is no open mic night tonight, but going forward, sporadically, there will be open mic nights. And if you want to know if there is going to be an open mic night, you just have to look for that little logo. I'll have it in the corner of the thumbnail of the video, so you guys are aware that it is open mic night. I'll also have the link posted in the chat before you guys even come in, so you guys can jump on. So there's that announcement right there. So yeah, that is a minor announcement. The second one, I'm not going to fully say what it is, but I'm going to tease it. Hopefully, I'll have that bigger announcement in the coming days, possibly within the next couple days. So I will keep that open, and I will let you guys know once I can fully announce that big announcement. Rest of the week preview, there won't be a post game on Thursday as I'll be at the game with Clay. So I probably won't get home in time to do a post game. I mean, maybe I'll do one. We'll see. But as of right now, I don't have one scheduled for Thursday. Maybe I'll do one. Maybe after Clay does his post game. We will see, and maybe I'll talk to Gerald and see if he's up for doing one. Unsure about Sunday, as I'll be at a family gathering, and I'm not sure how long that is going to go. But hopefully, if I get home in time, I can do one on Sunday. I will keep you guys posted over the next few days. Let's take a look at some more of your comments. Let's see here. Duo, good to see you, buddy. So sad cheering for this team year after year. Yeah, this game was a little brutal watching. I mean, like I said at the top, it was a goal fest, so at least we got a lot of goals, just not enough shots, at least by the Canucks in this one. Connor, that's cool. I'm up for it whenever you're hosting with Gerald. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure. Anyone's allowed to come on when I have open mic night. I just also wanted to call it something else instead of open house, kind of have it be, my own little spin on it as well. And I obviously suggested open mic night, and I was like, you know what? That's actually a really good name. I'm going to snag that before anyone else does. So that's what I did. Urban, since November 6th, the Canucks since November 6th with Hughes a +11, without him a -109. Jeez. Yeah, that's shot attempts, not necessarily shots on goal. That is just shot attempts by the opposing team, meaning the team has control of the puck and is directing the puck to the net, blocked and or unblocked. Yeah. Connor, yes, you cover it where else it work late. Yes, exactly. Well, I know they probably wouldn't mind it at all, but I also wanted to call it something else. Have it my own. Like I said, put my own spin on it, and I had several names in mind, but open mic night I thought was a pretty good one, and I even actually thought about like mic drop or something like that, but came up with open mic night. Was like, okay, I'm gonna steal it before anyone else does, and boom. So, do you have a set? I don't have a set night yet. I probably will. Like for example, whenever Gerald and I do another Unleashed episode, those will most of the time, like I don't want to say all the time, but most of the time will be open mic nights, and I will have the logo on the thumbnail so you guys know. So those ones for sure, most part will be open mic nights. I'll probably talk to Gerald about what nights work for him and what nights work for me as well. When it comes to work, Saturdays are probably a good idea. Maybe even Fridays, because I don't work Saturdays. So, and if we're doing, after dark, like maybe Clay doesn't stream on Fridays, so we could probably do like the 11 slot. So I'll talk to Gerald about it and see what he's thinking and what works for him. And then I will let you guys know for sure. We also asked about what we would achieve having Lekromaki and Mancini back in the team. Do you see this team improving their playoff chances? Yeah, I could see, especially once everyone who's injured comes back. I could certainly see it helping. I don't want to be too negative or lose too much hope. I mean, it's hard. I'll admit it's difficult, but I'm still trying to remain optimistic and positive, especially with the way Quinn Hughes has been playing the last couple games, the way Petey's been playing the last few games. So I am still optimistic about their playoff chances, and I still think, like I did before the season started, I still think they're gonna make the playoffs, maybe just squeak in. Jeremiah, how did you like the game? I thought it was good. Entertaining hockey for sure. Lots of goals. Unfortunately, more for the opposing team, but I thought it was great. Especially after that first period. It was like bang, 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 boom. I was like, wow. And then obviously that glove save by Patera still has me mind blown. Being a goalie guy myself, that was an incredible save, and it's a little disappointing that directly afterwards, Florida ended up scoring. So I like this one from Urban. How would you describe the Canucks if the team was a wrestler? Ooh, this is a good one. Wow, I've never actually really thought of that, but I'm glad you asked, Urban. Huh. Yeah, he's got some good examples here. Doink, James Ellsworth, Repo Man, Green Cane, the Iconics. Yeah, I mean, I really like the Iconics, to be honest. What about Santino? Santino, maybe. Eric Young when he was doing the comedic gimmick. Although that's TNA, that's not WWE. Oh, Gerald is in the building. What's up, Gerald? Connor, at least Buffalo beat the Bridesmaids, so that cheered me up. Yeah, I did see that. I did see Buffalo beat the Oilers, which made me grin. Jeremiah asked, what will happen if Filipino come back? Yeah, I do think both of them will come back. I actually thought about jumping on there, but I was trying to get ready for mine. But yeah, I think both will come back, and I think both of them are going to get hurt again. I think it's probably going to be quicker for Hedel. That's just because he hasn't shown that he can be healthy, at least that I've seen. And then Demko is, I think, kind of in the same boat. But I don't think Demko is going to be healthy for the rest of the season, just because he hasn't, and he hasn't proven that. So that is my stance on that. Connor Jinder Mahal. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. 3MB. Heath Slater. I kind of want to say Zach Ryder, but I really like Zach Ryder, so